From Mighty Ant 0215, a super thanks to begin today's show. If T-Mac is gone, we trade back, get a second, and take gold in the first, then running back in corner with our 2 seconds, third on a DT, or trade back twice and get 3 twos, and hope we get a DT in the second. Because the Sims I've done, I get a lot of trade back offers, gold in the high teens, and if he's gone, trade back for Ibuka, Burden late first, and grab Maxwell Harrison, Travion Henderson, DT, use a third for an edge. All that's fine. I will say this in general. It's a good plan. I would always be careful with the Sims because the Sims often give you similar results. They're a very valuable tool. Sometimes it's not how it goes in the end. And, the guy you think might be there in a trade down doesn't make it to you. And you might have to reach on someone to make sure you get your guy because other teams might trade up to. So that plan works if you can execute it. I don't think it's as easy to execute as the Sims might make it seem like. $5 from William Cook. What characteristics make CeeDee Lamb a number 1 wide receiver? It's a fun question here. And I'll kind of repeat what I said in my response. There's a lot of things that CeeDee Lamb does super well. He can do inside-outside stuff, so he's not just limited to one type of role as a receiver. He does a really good job, one of the guys on this team, frankly, of getting open. He is extremely dangerous after the catch. He's also pretty good about playing larger than his size, both after the catch and at the catch point. And when you combine, he's good at getting open and good once the ball's in his hands, that's normally a pretty darn good football player. And as a bonus, he's got really good chemistry with his wide receiver as well, or with his QB as well. Now, these all came in via Super Thanks. It is a feature here on YouTube. It's like a super chat, but it's on demand. Edit your message, send them whatever, and we'll give you a shout out on the show. Jason Baca, thanks. What's your opinion on Colorado wide receiver Jimmy Horn Jr.? Seeing him go from round 7 to round 5, and despite his size, think he could be huge. He is 5'8 and an eighth, 174, slot receiver. He does offer some kick return value. I think he plays a little bit faster than some of his timed speed. He wasn't a great testing athlete, all things considered. For me, I think the other Colorado receiver, LeJontay Wester, is actually probably a better comp for this, but I think the way you use them is similar. I already have an undersized slot receiver who can do some gadget stuff and return guy stuff. That guy already is on my team in Cavani Turpin. I got like a 7th on Jimmy Horn. Maybe he goes a little bit earlier. I don't think that you need that type of receiver on your team because he was a screen guy for Colorado, which a lot of them were because the O-line sucked. But I don't think he's the type of playmaker that you need. AADTR. Did we forget about Josh Butler? So I don't think so. Now I don't think you're banking on Josh Butler though. He's coming off torn ACL in November. It was not a good ACL tear. Not there are any good ones. He's probably not going to be ready for week 1. I also don't want a former UFL short sample size guy to be like, yeah, he's our number 2. You kind of want him to earn it a little bit more. So depth-wise, I've not forgotten about him. Starter week 1, had to. I don't think he's going to be available in the end. So what is your concern level over the cornerback room? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. It's pin count, by the way, so that comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. Anthony, do we move on from Deuce Vaughn? It is very possible. I assume this team will draft a new back somewhat early in this year's class. That'll be the number 1. I think Javonte Williams is probably your number 2 to help out on third downs in particular. That leaves kind of Miles Sanders, Deuce Vaughn, Leak Davis, maybe another day 3 pick as well, competing for 1, maybe 2 spots. Deuce Vaughn could also be a practice squatter for you. That you probably can't rule out either. But I don't think with the level of investment, the brief playing time, and the likely need you have at the roster, that they're banking on Deuce Vaughn or assuming Deuce Vaughn is on the 53. Drew DTX. If we sign Jaire Alexander, we move Deron Bland back to slot, or we better just going for a slot corner in the draft after the 3rd round. Also, LaFonda, if you know, you know. It's from Napoleon Dynamite. As for this, I think the nice part about if you were to sign someone like Jaire Alexander is he can do both for you, and so can Deron Bland. I think there is a very real scenario when we get to May 1st that the best 3 starters for this Cowboys roster once Trayvon Diggs is healthy and your other corner is DaRon Bland at the nickel corner spot. Now, DaRon Bland's in a contract year. He probably doesn't want to play a bunch of nickel, or at least his agent does not want him to, because that's going to bring down his value. So I think you can make everybody happy by paying DaRon Bland first, and then you feel better about that. And then, maybe early in the year it's Bland on the outside, Izzy at the nickel, and a young guy out there opposite Bland. And if the young guy impresses, Bland goes to nickel, or Bland stays on the outside if Izzy impresses. I think there is the possibility that Bland has to kick inside out of necessity at some point this season. So let's make him happy and be more willing to do it by paying him, because you want to pay him anyway, right? From Wayne, bring back Johnathan Hankins. Oh, what a pull there. Don't know how that relationship is. Different coaching staffs, plural now at this point. So kind of open door there. I don't think the Cowboys that interested last time in bringing back Hankins. But if you don't add a nose guard in the draft, I need somebody in there. I need somebody up front to help me take snaps at nose guard. I need a body. So would you bring back Hankins? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Y for yes, N for no. Zach Crosby, $10. Is it possible to get CTE when you only take kneel downs? I'm genuinely concerned for Ben Kurt after that abhorrent trade of his. I saw it. I ignored it because it was stupid. It was something like the Cowboys trade Dak to the Steelers for a first, and then they just start Milton for a year with the argument that both teams are now better, which makes zero sense at all for the Cowboys. Great idea for Pittsburgh. Makes zero sense for Dallas whatsoever. Because somehow it gives the Cowboys a chance to win the NFC East, and it makes the Pittsburgh Steelers a Super Bowl contender. Which, how do you get both those things? That doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know. It was stupid. Look, sometimes everyone has bad takes, me included. That was just a bad take in the end. The 2025 NFL Draft Gear is available over on Fanatics, led by the new hats, which have the America's Team pin, a black and a slightly darker black as well, and also hoodies this year. They've gone beyond just the hats. Get yours today, chatsports.com/NF, or chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft, chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft. Link will be in the comment section. Clickable one popped up over there in that other corner. It's chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft for the Cowboys 2025 NFL Draft Gear. Juan Ramos. The Cowboys don't draft running back first. Running back Caleb Johnson, round 2. Raheem Sanders in the 5th. Double dip at back. I don't even know. I wouldn't be shocked if they double dipped. If you want to go double dip, that's fine. I think if you take Caleb Johnson the 2nd, which is where I have him graded, I don't know if you need to. I think he's a great outside zone runner. I would be excited to see more outside zone from this team. I think it fits the personnel pretty decently. I would like it. I don't know if the Cowboys, what their true plans are on that front, but I think Johnson round 2, I think there's a chance he's there. Makes sense. Raheem Rocket Sanders, I am not as high on. I got him more in the 7th, but he also fits that kind of zone scheme runner. I was pretty impressed overall with the way he tested. It was better than what I thought it was going to be. I also know that he's had some weight issues in the past, and I think he is a kind of he did better early down stuff, which I thought was a promising sign as well. I've got him kind of in that 6th round range, more or less, but 5th or whatever, it's fine. If you want to double dip, I think there will be plenty of options there. Jenkins Gaming, Tom, all the questions about Parsons. Is it close? Is it the years of the money? It's the fact that he didn't have the agent involved. That's what it was. If Micah didn't have an agent, you have an agent for a reason, the deal would be done. But you have an agent for a reason, so you don't kind of friendly get taken advantage of, for lack of a better phrase there. I think that maybe the years are an issue. And by the way, if you disagree on the years, then you disagree on the money. Those are interconnected. You cannot separate the two. More years equals more money. That's how it works in the NFL. But You know, if you don't talk to the agent, there's no deal. Like, it's not a hard deal to do. We know what the money's going to be. It's record setting. It's not hard. They could have it done in a day if they wanted to. They could have it done tomorrow if they wanted to. They could have it done before this mailbag even goes out. But somebody's got to pick up the phone and call the other party. And from a leverage standpoint, from a who should get the deal done first, it should be the Cowboys. Not that hard. Now, if you enjoy our mailbags, hit that sub button. YouTube.com/CowboysTV for more free Cowboys videos each and every single day. West Side. We're listening, but I'd love to get Auburn running back Jarquez Hunter. He'll probably go in between our 3rd and 5th round picks. That's where I've got him graded. I have him in the 4th. I was very impressed by him. There's good yak ability. I think he plays bigger than his size. He's like 5'9.5", 204, 4'4", 40. He's got good lower body strength, which I always like in a back. Keeps those legs churning. Did have the rare, like, the shuttle time was slower than the 40, which, like, never had. It's very rare. It just means you're stiff. It means you're straight line fast, but, like, you can't change direction all that great. I think there's some vision issues as well. Part of that is the offense that I think he played in, but I got him in the 4th. I think he's an underrated player. I would, yeah. If they took him in the 3rd, I would not be upset by it. Or if they got a 4th round pick back, I would take him there for sure. Tim Hoover, Dylan Sampson would be a steal in the 3rd. I also have him in the 3rd. There's a lot of backs I have in like that 3rd, 4th round range, or in that late 2nd. There's a ton of them. I think Sampson. I think division's good. I think that the offense he played in makes it easier because everyone's spread out wide. So, like, there's just less in the box to be able to identify. But he carried that offense. Tennessee did not have a good passing offense last year. Dylan Sampson was the engine of the entire thing. Corey, if Dallas doesn't go wide receiver early, who would you rather have, Amari or Keenan Allen? If the Amari relationship is fixed, I'll take Amari Cooper because he offers me outside game that I don't know if Allen quite does. If you miss on a receiver early, I'll take either because I need somebody else out there, even if it is just a one-year stopgap option, though. Name a player who you want the Cowboys to add this offseason. Draft, free agency, or trades. Let me know in the comments of today's show. LSU Tigers. Oh, look at that. They're commenting. Who could be the Mozzie Smith pick in round 1? I don't think I would describe Mozzie Smith pick. I'm going to treat it as defensive, upside athlete play. And I think that's Michael Williams out of Georgia in the end. I'm not trying to be like negative about Michael or anything, but I think if you're like, Mozzie was a traits-based pick along the defensive line. Williams would be a traits-based pick along the defensive line. Crimson Cowboy. Thoughts on Gabe Taylor out of Iowa. In the later rounds if we need DB depth. Sean Taylor's younger brother. Oh, that's a fun fact there. Somewhat undersized safety out of Rice. Runs in the low 4.4s at 1.5. Did he go back to school? I thought he went back to. Maybe he didn't. Hold on. Let me double check the beast here. No, he went pro. So I have not done him. I haven't watched any Rice games this year. So I will consult the beast on this one from Dane Brugler. Dane's got him 84th among safeties. The official 40 time there is 4.55. Checked in at 5.8 3/4, 188. So that would all indicate undrafted free agent guy. But you need undrafted free agents at safety. You got to sign one, if not two. So insert your favorite safety. You can definitely sign them.